You could have everything right on the car. You could have a great crew, the track prep's good, the weather's good, all this stuff's good. But if the driver's brain dead, you're still not going to win. Hey guys, it's Tim McCamus. It's the evening. All the guys are gone for the day. Just kind of out here checking out what's going on in the shop, looking over projects. Thought I'd take a second to talk to you about some things that commonly come up for us during the day, come up with us on the phone. You know, my guys up front have questions all the time. So one of the most common issues is us answering questions for racers that aren't prepared to race. So, and what I mean by that is most of drag racing or any type of motorsports is the biggest part of the work is done back at the shop, getting the car ready for the race, being prepared to go to the event. Especially when you're racing on this level, you know, you're talking about NHRA Pro Mod or some really extreme drag racing here. We're not talking about just a weekend bracket car. These cars are very severe, and they eat up some parts, and they break. Things change on them. You have to stay on top of the service, and it's very frustrating for us because it's like, you know, we want to say, look, do your job back at the shop and work on the car. You can't run these cars and throw them in the trailer after the event and then haul them to the next week 2 weeks later, unload the car, and expect everything to be fine. You've got to go over the car, you've got to check it, you've got to check the bolts, you've got to check the chassis for cracks, you've got to check the third member, you got to check the ring and pinion for tight spots, you've got to check the transmission, the engine. I mean, you've got to check everything. And if you're prepared, you have a lot better chance of winning than if you just hope that you're going to be okay. Races aren't, you know, some races are won. I've seen a lot of races won by accident, which means no skill on the driver or crew's part to win the race. They just happened to be in the right place at the right time. They won the event. Didn't require any effort on their part. Things happened, everything fell into place, and they got a trophy. But guys that win consistently, look at teams that win on a consistent basis. They work on their cars during the week. They check everything. They do everything they can to make sure that their equipment is in the best shape that it can be when they go to the track. And a lot of that goes for the driver too. You know, a lot of that is kind of overlooked. I mean, you can have the best prepared car, you can have the best prepared engine, your tune-up could be perfect, you could have the right ratios in the transmission. You could have everything right on the car. You could have a great crew, the track prep's good, the weather's good, all this stuff's good. But if the driver's brain dead, you're still not going to win. So you've got to focus. You know, the driver's got to focus on the job at hand. You can't be on your cell phone running 10 things back at home before you go into the final round. I mean, you have to concentrate on this stuff, and you have to have your head in the game when you're at the track. It's important for your safety, and if you're serious about winning, you need to be focused on the task at hand. And I see this all the time. I see drivers distracted and things going on that cause them not to be focused on their car, on their way they're making a run. You know, so they come back and they go, oh my gosh, my reaction time sucked. You know, the car's slow at leaving. It's always the car's fault. So. But most of the time, it's just the focus of the driver. It's just, you have to be 100% in to win. You can't be out there cooking steaks and talking back at your shop at home or trying to run your business from the road and then expect to get in the car and be focused on that when it's time to run. It takes dedication, it takes preparation, it takes a ton of focus, it takes a lot of hard work to win. We see this all the time, you know, the slightest little problem at the track and the owner or crew or driver, whatever, they're ready to pack up and go home. Instead of just jumping in, fixing the problem, and making the next run, they want to bail. So it's like, okay, well, you guys obviously aren't here to win. You're just out here, you know, wasting time. So look at the guys that consistently do well at the track. They qualify in the top half of the field and they go rounds on eliminations day. They're prepared, they're focused, they're good at what they do, and they're dedicated to building a winning team. And so putting the effort in pays back in the end. I mean, you have to put the effort in before you get to the track to have any reward on race day. So just my 2 cents, but we do this every day. We do it 7 days a week. We talk to a lot of people all over the world that race. So we see lots of different scenarios, and one of the most common is just, lack of focus, lack of preparation. And if you will think about that and take the time to be prepared when you go to the track, you'd be surprised how much smoother your day goes and how much less problems you have, and how much easier you go through elimination rounds. So think about that, and you think my ideas are off, no big deal. But just thought I'd throw that out there and give you something to ponder about.